This is the tax workshop for UWGB students powered by the Center of Financial Planning and VITA. Today we will be going over the U.S. tax reporting for students, our free tax filing options via TaxSlayer, any resources and guides you might use, and any questions you might have. Just a quick disclaimer, the aim of this presentation is to provide you with a general understanding of tax principles as they apply to students, and as such is for information purposes only. Each individual has a unique tax position and is responsible for his or her own tax determination and compliance. So now we're going to talk about some of the most common documents you might need for your tax filing. We're going to start with the Social Security number. You do not need your Social Security card, just the number is fine. Your W-2s or any 1099s that you might have received. This shows any income that you have earned throughout the year. Your 1098-T of your institution for UWGB students. This is in your UWGB SIS account. And any scholarship information or any qualified expenses that you might have incurred throughout the year. You will also need any other tax forms that you might have received. And you will also need to know your prior year annual gross income, so your AGI on your 2021 tax return. These are just some quick sample documents of what your tax documents might look like. So we have a W-2, a 1099 INT, which is any interest that you have incurred from your bank account, savings accounts. 1098 T is your tuition statement from your college or university, and then you might have any miscellaneous income, and that's that 1099 that we were previously talking about. A quick and easy way to file your taxes is through a website called myfreetaxes.com. This is powered by TaxSlayer. It is completely free to anyone that has made less than $73,000 this year. You will have the option to e-file your 1040, so your federal return, as well as your Wisconsin state return. Both are free. A lot of sites like to let you do the federal return for free and then charge you for the state return, but this website is completely free. There's no limitations on any forms or any schedules that you might have, and you can e-file right away and send it to the IRS, and they will let you know if it has been accepted or rejected, and they will help you throughout the whole process. Okay, so this is what a 1040 looks like. This is the most common tax return for individuals. My Free Taxes will help you navigate, and eventually your tax return will look like this sheet, but My Free Taxes does a really nice job of helping you navigate each tax document and placing the numbers where they need to be. As you navigate your tax return, we know it can be a bit confusing, so we have a couple of resources for you guys to use as you go through your tax return. The first one being is a great guide to the TaxSlayer application, which is the My Free Taxes website. If you have any questions regarding TaxSlayer, regarding your tax return, this is a great spot to start. You can literally type in a question, type in where do you put this tax document, and it will bring up an article, bring up a little summary of where to put tax document, where to enter it, and why you would enter it. So it's a really great resource if you have any questions regarding TaxSlayer, regarding your tax return. This would be the place to start. If you're interested in learning more about your tax return and why you're getting the refund you're getting, I would definitely recommend the IRS VITA website. You do not have to be associated with VITA at all. You do not have to be a part of the group. But they give you really good guidance and study materials on tax returns, individual tax returns, all that fun stuff. So there's a lot of resources out there under this IRS website that you can use, free to use. And the Wisconsin Department of Revenue also has their own VITA website with resources, study materials, all of that stuff. So again, you do not have to be associated with VITA, and it is open to anyone. If you're still struggling with your tax return, the Center for Financial Planning has tax coaching hours Tuesday and Thursday from 9 to 2. You can go on to their website and we'll talk a little bit more about that. And you can book an appointment with them. and they will provide you additional support with any tax questions or just navigating TaxSlayer. If you're struggling with your tax return or just not sure where to start, you can schedule a peer tax coaching session with an IRS certified VITA volunteer. They will help you navigate your tax return free of charge. You can use the link on this slideshow and you can create a 30-minute appointment in the hours that we um, said before, Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. If those days don't work out, you can definitely reach out and request a different time and figure out something that will work for you. But these tax volunteers are here to help you navigate any question that you might have.
Hi everyone, my name is Ellie. I'm a tax coach with the Center for Financial Planning and a volunteer with the VITA program here at UWGB. Today I will be going through a tax return that kind of directly correlates with UWGB students and hits a lot of the points that students might be facing. Thanks to the VITA program, we'll be using a tax scenario that has all fictitious information, but still really helps us navigate our programming for tax returns. We will be using a free programming called myfreetaxes.com, a simple Google search, and the first one will be the programming we will be using. It is My Free Taxes by United Way. We'll be using the first option here of filing my own taxes. And to qualify for this service, you will need to have made less than $73,000 in 2022. Other than that, it is completely free to use. You can e-file and also e-file your state return as well. Really simple and easy to use and really straightforward, but today we'll be going over in the scenario and kind of navigating the website. So for our scenario, we have Olivia Lerner. She is single and 20 years old. She cannot be claimed as a dependent on anyone else's return. And this is key to our scenario today. She works a secretary position part-time, and she made about $15,000 and withheld $150 in federal income tax. There is no Wisconsin state income tax withholding. She attended UWGB full-time for spring and fall, and she also received a 1098 with the following information. For your 1098T, you can find that in your UWGB SIS account. There should be a drop down that says View 1098T, and then you can also see your past previous 1098Ts for various years. So today we will be talking about taking the American Opportunity Credit. And so we will be using that 1098T information along with the next information that I will give you, which is she is a second-year student and she has not been convicted of a felony, which is very important in order to qualify for this American Opportunity Credit. So we will get started. If you go through the My Free Taxes website, it will bring you to TaxSlayer. And again, completely free. You don't have to look up TaxSlayer. Do the myfreetaxes.com so you can use this completely free programming. I have already went ahead and entered her W-2 information. What I really like about TaxSlayer is that if you just don't know where to get started, you can always hit this My Guided questionnaire. It asks you a whole bunch of questions, and then in the end, it'll prompt you different tax forms, different tax situations that they believe that you are in. So it kind of gives you a really good starting point of where to begin. But for today, we're just going to select our own forms and navigate the website by itself. All right, here it gives you a whole list of different tax documents that you might have received. If you're just not sure, you can always click on these question marks and it'll kind of give you a little description of what it is, who might have given this to you, what is reported on a W-2, all that sorts of stuff. And if you are really struggling, you can always hit the help and support button up at the top. Just look up if you have a certain tax document that you're just not sure where it goes, look it up. This is a great starting point takes you directly where it needs to be. So I will show you guys two scenarios for Olivia's situation here. I already went ahead, entered the W-2, which was the $15,000 she made, minus 150 of the federal income tax withheld. So for our first scenario, in order to receive the American Opportunity Tax Credit, we are going to take the full amount that we were given. So we have $8,500 in tuition, which is in box one. And then she received $12,000 in scholarships and grants. She also paid $500 for books, and the scholarships and grants is divvied up between $6,000 in scholarships and then $6,000 in your federal pen grants. So since her grants and scholarships exceed her tuition and book expenses, we are going to have to report the income of the excess scholarships and grant money. So I clicked on this other income tab over here, and I'm just going to hit other income, and we're just going to have a description of scholarship. We are going to report 6,000 of extra income that we have received, and you will see why in a second. And we're just going to hit continue. On the right hand side, you can see how this is impacting your tax return. So right now we are owing about $600. Don't be scared until the very end. This is just a return summary. It kind of populates as you go. So this will not be your final number, not until the very end, until you're ready to e-file. So no need to worry. I know that the 1098-T is in deductions, so I will just go ahead straight there. But again, if you need help, you can always look it up. Again, guided questions in order to help you navigate the system, but we're just going to select our own forms today. And then it'll be under credits. If you're not sure, you can always hit this question mark and look at the types of credits that are under this page. I'm looking for education credits, so yep, this is the part I want to be in. And then 1098-T, that's exactly where I want to be. And it'll just ask you a couple questions before you start. Have you entered all of your income and adjustments to income? So we're going to hit yes. That's where the $6,000 came from. And you're going to select yourself as a student, in this case, Olivia as a student, and then just questions about your 1098-T. We're going to assume this is our 2022 1098-T, and we did not receive the 2021. So then here we're just going to add our institution. And then this is where we start adding our information. So this tuition paid is going to be our box number one on 1098-T. For Olivia, it was that 8,500. And then she also paid 500 in books. You can deduct any book fees. You cannot deduct like say parking passes. You can't deduct like meals or housing expenses, or it has to directly relate to your education. For the grants, we're just going to put 6,000 here. The other 6,000 was for the scholarship money that we received. And we're just going to hit continue here. It'll prompt you a couple of questions for the AOTC credit. It is important that you haven't claimed this more than 4 years in a row. So we're going to hit no. She's only a second year student. Enrolled for at least half of the academic period for 2022? Yes. Did the student complete first 4 years of higher education before 2022? We're going to hit no. And then has the student been convicted of felony drug conviction? We're going to hit no. Oops. And we're going to hit continue. All right, and what I really like about TaxSlayer is that it will go through the credits and see what you qualify for. Um, and it gives you a little breakdown of what your refund would look like if you took the credit. So the lifetime learning credit is generally for people that don't qualify for the AOTC. They're more of like taking courses on the side, taking night classes type sort of stuff. So the AOTC is more for like the traditional college student, four-year college student, and a lot of students qualify for this. So we're going to go with the bigger return, of course. And perfect. We see that our tax return now is 1,050, so that is awesome. We will be getting money back, which is always a good sign. And then you just want to play around with TaxSlayer. Make sure you have everything entered correctly. All of your tax documents should be entered. If you have any questions, help and support is a great way to start. TaxSlayer has their own um, website where you can ask the questions, or there's a huge Q&A that you can search a subject and it'll bring up an article if you're just not sure what to enter, what qualifies, what you can itemize, that sort of stuff. So with that being said, we already see that we will be getting that amount of money, and I'm just going to quickly run through and see what our state return says. Like I said, this TaxSlayer programming, you do not have to pay anything, and you can do your tax or your state return easily. A lot of the information is just pulled from the federal side, so it's really nice and easy to work with. And then you can e-file. I know a lot of sites will charge you for like state return, and that's not the case here. So definitely recommend doing the My Free Taxes version, because there are TaxSlayer versions out there, but this one is completely free. All right, as I work through the Wisconsin return, a lot of times you do not really have to mess around with the Wisconsin return, because a lot of your information already automatically populates into the Wisconsin return. It will ask you this question of where you live, what county you live in. So here obviously says, congratulations, you've already completed your standard Wisconsin return, which is great. So we do not have to mess around with it unless you want to claim different credits, like say you live in a house and pay property taxes on it, or you got a rent certificate from your landlord, all of that stuff. So there's state specific tax credits. If you're not sure, always do the TaxSlayer help and support. If not, you can always reach out to us and we can help you navigate it as much as we can. But for now, we're just going to exit, and we're all done for that. And we're just going to hit continue, and it'll calculate our return. And as you can see, this will be our final resulting numbers. We do have to pay in 320 for Wisconsin, but that's only because our scenario was built that way, that we didn't add any state withheld taxes. So this is our return. This is definitely what I recommend, is taking that AOTC credit if you qualify. Definitely take advantage of it. Otherwise, you will be missing out on a huge refund. Here we have a spreadsheet of just comparing the two scenarios of not taking the AOTC credit versus taking it. As you can see here, taking the AOTC credit, we reported $6,000 in scholarship income, as you saw me do. If we do not take it, you just take, you would take the $12,000 minus the $9,000, the 12,000 being the grants and scholarships that you received, and then the 9,000 being your tuition slash bucks. So that results in $3,000. That would be all you would have to report as income. And then we see here, this is the tax that we withheld. Here's the AOTC credit of $808. And then we see here, this is our $1,050 refund. If we don't take the AOTC credit, then we would owe $358 in taxes. For the Wisconsin state taxes, without taking the AOTC, you do owe a little less, but we still get a good difference of 1,408 of tax benefit. So yeah, so my suggestion for you guys is definitely take the AOTC credit. If you're just not sure where to start, if you're not sure where to begin, please reach out to us. Under the Center of Financial Planning website, you have the option to create an appointment with tax coaching sessions. Do have to do a disclaimer that we cannot do your tax return, but we are here to navigate and help you navigate your tax return using TaxSlayer and My Free Taxes website. Any questions you guys might have, just not sure where to start, or not sure how to take this credit, or not sure if you even qualify for the credit, just please reach out. We are here to help you, and any questions, please let us know. So, all right, have a good day, guys. Thank you.